It's been over 1,200 years since the tunneler handed out magical tablets that opened up the world of magic and the gods, bringing 8 small colonies into thriving kingdoms. Here is the state of the world as of 1215. If you're curious about these kingdoms' origins or everything that led up to this moment, you can go back and watch both of my videos pertaining to those topics. The Gold Scale Dynasty has accomplished the incredible by expanding faster than any other kingdom. 15 million scale-born and small-scale Dinians walk the land in over 12 megacities, reproducing at an exponential rate thanks to the devotion to their kingdom's god, Lazion, the mother of reproduction. They have thrived using agriculture as their main export. They sport a robust constitution and respect for government that keeps their people in line. Recently, their military was incredibly wounded by the casting of Starfall by Amenhotep in the War of Bloody Nix, a war that was largely seen as a loss for the dynasty. They haven't forgotten the stain of the Bladeless War as well, between them and Talos, which has left a bird ban in effect for hundreds of years, barring any Talosians from entering the city for any other than work. Unsurprisingly, they hold the most amount of dragons compared to any kingdom. These dragons are a major focal point in the kingdom's culture. While tensions rise with Amenhotep, Hearth has remained a constant ally of the dynasty. Hearth has just completed their giant 1,000-mile wall of Vertrask, inside of which is their democratic capital of Emberhaven, and it's safe. So too are the melting pot of races that call it home. It's not only Hearth's capital, but capital of the entertainment for all of Pardis, the world. Though they fought against Amenhotep in the recent Betrayer Wars, Hearth made it their mission to send out shipments of food, money, entertainment, and sport to cheer up every single kingdom in hopes to start the world's in a step in the direction towards peace and happiness. They are leading the cause to end slavery in Amenhotep, a campaign that increases political tensions each day. Lalatula is considered a kingdom in decline, or at least seclusion. Mysteriously, thousands of their predominantly elvish communities that are made up of wizards are going missing from the kingdom's capital city. Theories begin to circulate about a hidden city over the oceans off west of their frigid continent of Kabarafu. Lalatula holds a matriarchal society that thrives in a floating city of Tula. However, the city has seen a recent veil of smoke surrounding it, and initiates into the prestigious college dwindle each year as the academies become much more selective, likely due to the recent destruction caused by Amenhotep's spell of Starfall, a spell that Lalatulian mages exposed to the world long ago, which changed the use of magic as it pertains to war. Talos is the smallest kingdom by far. All of their bird-like citizens combined don't even equal 1/10 of the population of the dynasty's smallest city. But what they lack in numbers, they make up for in procuring and trading of kingdom's secrets. They have dirt on every major kingdom, political and military general. Talos has spread out their culture into different city-states that operate very differently from one another, with the one link being their knowledge. The Cold War, known as the Bladeless War, brought them close to extinction on behalf of the Gold Scale Dynasty, a wound that heals each day, but still lives in the hearts of Talosians. They are also inventors, and their most recent magnum opus was to have their city named Featherstrand, which took off and fly away as Amenhotep forces got near. An incredible feat of ingenuity and magical prowess. Denartha are seafaring water elves. They have an incredibly troubled past. Their ancestors tried to revive the god of the all-hell, Loom, a feat that most have forgotten and forgiven, as the kingdom has returned to their roots of buccaneering and serving their true god of the waters, Sub-Selvin. They serve him with zealous and fervor. Most recently, they just ended 2 back-to-back wars called the Betrayer Wars, the second of which saw Denartha to be the only kingdom ever to successfully defend against the tyrannical military juggernaut of Amenhotep. Dinartha did so by using their seas to their advantage and their hippos called dobas. With the two kingdoms just reaching trade talks as of current day, the future is seeming to look somewhat bright, specifically for Dinartha, who held their own and continues to expand their maritime traditions. As of 120 years ago, Hajim is no longer a kingdom and is now a house subjugated under Amenhotep's banners. Before their fall, the Sand Dwarves had a rich history in dance, food, and architecture, though their culture is still very much intact. They were allied with Amenhotep for thousands of years before Hajim betrayed their brother kingdom by abolishing slavery and outing Amenhotep as warmongers and dictators. Amenhotep did not take kindly to this and betrayed them right back in the first ever betrayer war. Hajim lost and subjugated under Amenhotep, which led to the two kingdoms rejoining forces, this time as a father-son kingdom. As of 25 years ago, Axelphage was still a kingdom as well. They too have been subjugated under Amenhotep during a different war named the War for Bloody Nix. Though Axelphage failed to keep their culture, most of them were put into slavery, and only the top 1% of their human and dwarven population of Axelines made it out with their money. Axelphage and the rest of the kingdoms have put Axelphage's main mistake behind them, which is that of harboring the Lich King in secret years ago. A secret that cost the lives of 10,000 people, as the Lich King took them back to his lands, called the Bastard Lands. Axelphage began as a hard-working people, old-school type. And then they became the main distributor in every single export industry possible through this hard work. This made them incredibly rich, which in return began to destroy their work ethic, eroding it away until only the poor worked on behalf of the rich. This has gotten even worse under Amenhotep's new subjugation of the now named House of Axelphage. Lastly is Amenhotep, a kingdom of half-elf clerics who was driven by omnitheism early on, a belief that structured every single part of their jungled life, and their pyramids built up and showed their zealous nature. Until the god King Cain, the titan of victory and war, became Amenhotep's main focus. It drove them out of seclusion and into domination of the surrounding lands and eventually kingdoms. Once Hajim betrayed them, they had a reason to begin their takeover. Once Hajim had been their ally for a very long time, and this had been the first domino towards Amenhotep's domination. Once Hajim was subjugated, they moved on to Axelphage, who held more currency than most every other kingdom combined. As that was done, they turned their sights onto Dinartha, thinking themselves immortal in the art of war by this point. Amenhotep foolishly fought several major battles on water, which led to the stalemate of the Second Betrayer War, as Dinartha was much more powerful on the water than they were on land. After many negotiations, Amenhotep has made a peace deal with Dinartha that is said to last 150 years. But with the dynasty looking for reparations for the War of Bloody Nix, Hurth pushing for the abolishment of slavery, Telosians demanding a lifting of the bird ban, Lalatulians' mysterious disappearances, and a major war between the kingdom's two powerhouses just in the rearview mirror, the common folk of Pardis may not be too convinced that the peace will last forever.